things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubt. And I have my doubt that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out.
Hey, Watchman, how come you always let that long song play completely out at the beginning of every show? It's annoying. Because I like to be annoying. Pretty simple answer. Anyway, no, I like the song. Hey. No, like I've said a million times, that's like my time. That's my time. Believe it or not, as I've said before, that song gives me, if I need to do something real quick before I actually come on, it gives me that time to do that. If I got to run to the restroom real quick, if I got to grab my drink, whatever, it allows me to do that. So, like my little safety net. So I use it quite often. So anyway, Not a whole lot of updates as far as around here today. Pretty non-productive day, really. There really wasn't a whole lot um, to work with today, so not a lot of updates. So still waiting. I did actually add. I was talking about the items that we need to do the small grow tent, and so I actually put that stuff up on the website. So if individuals would want to help out, that's one way to do it. So just go to the watchmannews.com right there on the home page. And we've got the different stuff. What it is it's just I took the links from Amazon's wish list, and all it is it shows the item. When you click the list, automatically it'll throw it in the cart, which I'm working on changing that to a different method. I don't like how it works, but anyway, it'll be changed up by tomorrow. But added that. Not only that, but I am actually going to add another section on the site for the different projects that I'm doing, like with the hybrid hydro grow pots. I'm gonna like put pages up for those particular projects that I've done, and I'm gonna put the Amazon things there. So that way, if somebody wants to duplicate the project, they can just go to the website, go to that page for that project, and all of the items will be listed there. They don't have to click the links, but I mean, the whole thing is all the items will be there. The video of me showing how to do it will be there, and the whole 9 yards. So it'll kind of be like a how-to page, so to speak, with all the information on what the items are. So that's the big thing. Just trying to figure out ways that I can actually make something that is useful. So this is just one of the areas that I'm going, and I think it's I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Just wait until you see what I do in that small tent. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. Trying to think. I'm still hashing out the containment system. Because, yeah, one big old bed would be nice. But okay, so that one big old bed would be, the outside dimensions would be roughly 20 inches by 40 inches. Okay, so the inside wouldn't be much from that. And so roughly 8 inches deep, that's a whole lot of clay pebbles. Okay, and I think a 40 liter bag of clay pebbles is like $43. So that's a whole lot of clay pebbles. And so if I can knock down the amount of clay pebbles I need, I can knock down the cost of the project. Well, I think I can manage that if I can find the right containers. If I can find containers that are roughly, I'm going to say 6 to 8 inches wide, preferably 6 inches wide, preferably, and 8 inches tall. Worst case scenario, like I say, 8 inches wide, 8 inches tall. But it has to be 20 to 22. It has to be 20 to 22 inches in length. And I could do that as well. I could make that work as well. So it's just kind of a matter of trying to find those particular containers, like on Amazon, you know. It's not like I can just hop in a car and run to Walmart with a tape measure and pardon me. Sorry about that. Not like I can just run to Walmart with a tape measure and start measuring. So, anyway. Trying to think. Really, that's about the only thing. I've been working with the ideas on that. Other than following news stuff, I mean that's a given. I do that every day. But Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was the issue with the supply chains. And I've been noticing for some time now, like the Amazon shipping has been kind of janky. Not only has their service, their particular service, been real crappy, at least in our area, as of late. They have actually been doing the deal to where Amazon delivers it to the post office, and then the post office delivers it here. So they've been doing it that way for the last several times we've ordered it. It's been a little while since we've ordered anything, but so today I was needing to look into getting some ear stuff for Blue, and I got to looking, and every product that I was looking at, I was trying to, of course, get it as quick as I can. Every product, the quickest it could be here would be the 5th. And I'm like, that's, 4 days. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not complaining. I mean, hell, that's not bad. But that's also not really Amazon, It's, you would expect 2 days, 3 days. But hey, it's ear cleaning stuff for a dog, no problem, right? So I thought, I'm sitting there thinking, what's a random, common, everyday product that people would buy? And I don't know, the only thing I could come up with was coffee cup. So I took coffee cup in Amazon and hit enter and looked at the products, and I'll be damned if most every single item showed a delivery date of June 5th. There were some June 3rd. I mean, very few June 3rd and some June 7th mixed in. Mostly June 5th. Every different type of item said that. And I know people might be thinking, well, what are you going on about? That's 4 days. We're talking Amazon here, right? That we're doing 1 day and 2 day delivery. And now it's like 4 day, consistent 4 day. To me, that shows something's up. Now, mind you, we hadn't been getting no more stimmies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's not extra income being pumped into folks to be increasing the demand that much to be, bogging down the system. So we can take that out. I don't think it's a matter of the system being bogged down by shoppers. So then what is it? Here's the other thing. Back to the ear stuff. Initially, I was just going to have Jen pick it up, right? She's going to be grocery shopping, I'm sure, within the next, 3, 4, 5 days or whatever. Just have her pick it up. Our Highland Walmart does not have one single brand, not one brand of any product to do with it. It's just ear cleaning stuff. That's it, right? And typically Walmart carries several different brands and types and stuff like that. Not a one. Not a one in stock. So I found that intriguing. Now, I haven't been in our local Walmart or anything to walk around to look at shelves or anything like that. But I do think it is kind of odd that they wouldn't even have had one brand of that particular item. I also have noticed on Amazon, as far as choices, especially brands, there are a lot of brands popping up that are completely new. And at the same time, the brands that you're used to seeing, and I'm not necessarily talking about brand name type of stuff, I'm just talking about products in general, they're kind of fading out. And once again, the selection, the amount of choices that you have to choose from, has gotten much, much slimmer. And this goes across different products of all different kinds. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe that this is a clear indicator of what is going to continue and what is going to increase. Meaning not increasing our choices, but I mean increasing of the shortages, of the lack of variety. I don't know what's all going on, but when you just slow down a second and you think about everything we see unfolding in front of us, okay? Let's not forget we've got a microchip shortage. It's a big deal. Big news. And I'll tell you what, we haven't even begun to feel the effects of that shortage yet. Stay tuned for that. But on top of that, your general everyday items, we're starting to see a lot less of. What's going on? I have a feeling that there's a fair chance that what we are looking at is World War III. And this time, it's starting by just a discontinuation of exports, essentially. Because if China clamps down on the exports to the United States, they could cripple us. They could literally cripple us. And I'm not laughing as in, ha ha, funny. It's that screwed up. That is literally all that has to happen is China just stop exporting items to us, and it would cripple the United States of America. This is something we might want to be thinking about, because I'm not understanding why we're continuing to see. You have to remember now, China has been bragging about how well they're doing in the battle against COVID, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm honestly not, I don't think they're lying. I think they are. I think China is back on track. I think they're back to work. I think they're doing what China's been doing, which is what the United States of America did back in, I guess, 40s, 50s, 60s, and on into some of the 70s. You know, build. That's what they're doing. And they're economically, they're becoming a titan. So you got all this stuff to take into consideration. On top of all that heap, you've got the lack of diplomacy on behalf of the United States for quite some time when it comes to China. I'm not saying it wasn't deserved or anything. I'm not picking a side. Not doing that. I'm just stating a fact. We haven't been best buddies. And that being said, I don't think Russia, or not Russia, I don't think China is losing much sleep over what would happen to the United States. Had we been just cut off overnight, I don't think they're very concerned about it. So we'll see. But there is something up with all of this. It's just odd. Because, I mean, then on top of all that mess, you got ammo and the shortages, related to that. And I'm not buying that these manufacturers just can't produce enough for demand. For this long a period of time, come on. And if I'll tell you what, if I was an ammunition manufacturer, and this is just common sense, if I was an ammunition manufacturer and I was watching the numbers that are unfolding before my eyes of like new gun owner sales, and I saw a massive ammo shortage going on, I think that I would invest the money in filling that gap. Because the first cat that can fill that gap is going to come out way ahead. But they're not doing it. Why? I'm not buying that all of this is a coincidence, including the ammunition. I think it's all together, to be honest. I don't know that I don't know who our enemies are. I do not believe that they are clearly defined in any way. I know that may sound odd, the way I worded that. I don't know how else to word it. I don't know who is more of a threat to us as American citizens, and I hate to even use those words. I don't know who's more of a threat to us. Our own government or foreign governments. I don't know. And it's a sad thing to say. I would highly recommend, as quick as you can, put back, whatever you need. And as I've been saying now for, over a year now, if there's items from like China, that you want, like electronic goodies or stuff, make sure you've got what are needs first. But aside from that, if there's goodies that you want, especially electronic type of items, better jump on them quick, because those are drying up fast too. I've seen a number of people talking about having issues getting appliance parts, and I find that very interesting as well. And I mean a number of individuals. I've even in our local buy-sell group, I've seen 2-3 different people selling appliances that were broken and needed a part. They just can't get the part. And so they wound up buying a new appliance or another appliance and selling that one and letting people know it needs this, but you just can't get it right now. So, now, that being said, you need to know something about that when it comes to appliances. There's not that many manufacturers. There's like 2 or 3, I believe, manufacturers. All your different brands of washers and dryers and refrigerators and all that comes from it's either 2 or 3 different companies. So, and that's it. All those different brands come from just those. So, you find that out pretty quick when you go looking for parts for appliances. Because usually what happens with me is I'm looking for a part for an appliance and I won't actually find it listed for the particular appliance I'm working on, but it'll have 1.5 million other models that it's got listed, and mine does happen to be the exact same one too. So, and you figure that out pretty quick. So that could be what the appliance ordeal is, but you would think if there was at least 2 or 3 different manufacturers for appliances that all of them wouldn't be running into part shortages. So, and that's a whole nother thing too. You're not talking about, in many cases with these parts, you're not talking about anything that needs microchips. So that wouldn't be, and I'm not talking about the main boards and stuff like that. Absolutely they would. But those aren't the parts that people are necessarily waiting on. They're waiting on all various things, switches and this and that, just various things. So, I'm really finding all of this very interesting. Here's the other thing, and who was it? Who was I watching today? Was it Peak Prosperity? Just a little bit earlier? Or could have been Tim Pool? I'm not sure, but they were saying, might have been Tim Pool, that the currency in the United States more or less is being brought down, and we all know that. And he said that the currency, I think it's in the UK or whatever, is coming up. And he said that it's like leveling out. Okay? And I got to thinking about that when he said that. And it's like, wait a minute here. That is one of the, several things that would have to be done for them to go to just a one world currency, is that all of the world's currencies would have to be leveled out. They would all have to be equaled, or before it switched to the otherwise there would be such an imbalance. If you see what I'm saying, there would be such an imbalance. So everything, all the different currencies would have to level out before it switched to that, unless it was a flip of a switch kind of thing overnight. Who knows how they're going to implement it? But I think all of this stuff plays in together. I really do. Very, very interesting situation. And when I say interesting, I only say that because it's a hell of a job trying to decipher what the hell they're up to. I mean, sure, we see some of it just right on the surface for what it is, but there's a lot of other stuff going on that we need to be mindful of. And a lot of it, they slip in and we don't even notice. But being able to decipher the stuff that you do notice, sometimes that can be a little tricky. But again, like I've said a million times, answer's still the same for you. Get ready. And so, and speaking of that, I'm I'm waiting for Jen's going to be going shopping here soon, and when Jen gets done shopping, then I'm going to do the closet video, because there is a few things I am going to get squared away in there, as far as I'm just going to top it off, and more for aesthetics than anything, and then I'm going to shoot that video. So no reason why I can't get that done. That way you guys can see what I got going on in our little closet there, the prepping supplies we've got. So we're gonna get more stuff to add here when we do shopping. So not a lot, but every little bit helps, and that's the point. And that's what I'm going to show you. You know, how just going and getting a little bit here and there every time you go, you know, just a little bit more. You just toss it in with the other stuff and just keep adding to it. So that's what all this is. This is what, when I show you this, that's what it is. It's a matter of building it up over time. There was not any one of those things in there that was just boom, bought in massive bulk at one time. None of it. So don't know really what else to discuss. I wanted to make you guys aware of what I personally was running into. That's all that I can account for. But I've been seeing it across the board. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about availability being down. What I didn't realize, because it's not like I order stuff all the time, I didn't realize on average how long it was taking Amazon to get things delivered. So very interesting. Very interesting. And I don't know, this could be a localized thing. Maybe you guys are seeing shipping just fine. Normal 1 day, 2 day stuff. I don't know. I can say this. The Amazon delivery service here in our area, our local area, is horrid. I mean, beyond horrid. Terrible. And maybe that might be just a local thing. Maybe you guys, when you look it up, it might be one and 2 day stuff. Maybe it's just longer for me, because maybe they're trying to avoid using that logistics until they get it squared away. So, because it's an issue. it's a bad issue. You see all kinds of complaints in the local town groups and stuff on Facebook. People talking about packages being misdelivered and, you know, stuff like that. So, crazy stuff. So, anyway, let me do some headlines. I'll get out of here for the night and make it easy. Be glad the cool days are almost over with. I got one more cool day left. I think tomorrow it's going to be 70s, and then then it's going to warm back up again. So fun times. Switch. There we go. Oh, let me have a drink. So yeah, and keep an eye yourself on stuff. I don't physically go to stores, so I hadn't heard of anything looking really bare. And you know, Jen, when we do shopping, Jen just does the pickup thing from Walmart, you know, so she doesn't physically go in the store. She does go in a little store that we have here, and so she says when she goes in there, she said it always looks, good to go, stocked up. Mind you, it's a really small store. You don't have to have too much on the shelf to be fully stocked. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know as far as on the shelves. I know I'm the one that does the grocery shopping, and it's not like I have problems getting groceries. I can't personally say, and when I shop again here in a day or two or whatever, if I see anything different, I'll let you know. But I can't say that I've seen any massive increase in food prices. This is me personally, my location where I'm at. It could vary wildly where you are. So a lot of this stuff is local market type of stuff, and even Walmart itself. Individual Walmarts have vastly different prices compared to each other. So anyway, I'll let you know if I notice anything funky when I do grocery shopping, but I hadn't up till now. So little things here and there, might be out of stock. It's little stuff, but a lot of times they'll have the same thing of a different brand or whatever. Not an issue. So fun times. Fun times. I am dying to get a tree in the ground, I'm telling you. That is getting at me and I cannot wait to get a tree going. Not in the ground, but in a pot. Whatever. I can't wait. I'm so stoked about that. I can't wait to get the hydro system going too. Okay. All stuff from today. The first one here, bold-faced fabrication. General Michael Flynn denies he endorsed Myanmar-style coup in America in a viral video. So, I honestly haven't listened to the video itself. Of course, I've seen what it is that he was said in the quote, but I hadn't listened to it to hear how he emphasized anything or anything like that. But I have my suspicions he said what he said, and then when he realized what it was he said, I think he's kind of trying to walk it back. I'm not positive of this, but it just kind of seems that way. People really need to stop putting their panties in a wad. Israel lifts majority of... Oh, I know. Oh, he's talking coup. You panties in a wad? He's talking coup. Man. Ain't that bad, right? If like whatever she was, a PE teacher or whatever, can be out there doing a dance, right, as the coup's going on right on behind her, Just kidding. I'm kidding. But that is a true story. It's a true story. I played that video on the show. That's messed up. Let's see. I don't know if I read that one or not. Yeah. World's first case of human infection with H1N3. I believe that's a 0. Bird flu recorded in China. Yeah, I know, right? Not this again. Biden administration proposes expanding and accelerating legal immigration and sharp U-turn from Trump-era policies, says the media. India emerges as one of Asia's top stock markets despite COVID-19 crisis. China administers over 660 million COVID-19 jabs as its inoculation program accelerates. The U.S. makes $110 million by selling seized crude, allegedly Iranian, a report suggests. Attack on Ugandan minister leaves his bodyguard dead, daughter also reportedly killed. China fires up artificial sun at 120 million degrees Celsius in a quest for nuclear fusion, says the media. 2 Iranian fighter jet pilots killed in collision with hangar roof as ejector seat malfunctions, says reports. Russia-China trade turnover saw 13-fold growth over past 20 years, says Lavrov. Let's see. In algorithms we trust, Twitter draws criticism over potential new misinformation warning system. U.S.-Australia war games to go ahead, but will be half the usual size due to COVID-19 concerns. Australian court rejects lawsuit claiming that tough COVID-19 restrictions on overseas travel violate human rights. Everyone is attacking everyone online, but Russians are best and most sophisticated hackers, says web security expert Kaspersky. Seoul summons senior Japanese diplomat to protest persistent inclusion of disputed islets on Olympic torch relay map. 2 Queen's Guards, including first ever black man to reach top soldier rank, charged in selling ammunition plot. South Korea closes registration for Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 shots as military personnel reserve all 800,000 jabs. Netanyahu's party loses last-minute bid to stop rivals forming new Israeli government. A U.S. facing credit market catastrophe even worse than in 2008, a strategist tells RT's Kaiser report. Let's see. A journalist tricks Matt Gaetz and other Republicans into retweeting an image of JFK killer Lee Harvey Oswald on Memorial Day. Let's see. Russia and China forging close partnership. Moscow's man in Beijing claims, but NATO-style alliance is not needed. Alabama police investigating video that shows officer violently stomping on schizophrenic man's leg. Catalonia bar worker arrested after cutting off boss's penis and claims she was defending herself from repeated rape. Current relationship between Russia and U.S. is in some ways worse than during Cuban Missile Crisis, says former President Medvedev. I'm sure I say his name wrong. Young at heart, Russian politician says citizens should be considered children until they are 30, as they don't know anything. You damn kids. You don't know anything. Get off my lawn. Let's see. No major obstacle to revival of nuclear deal, says Tehran. Outcome of talks before inauguration of Iran's new president likely. Let's see. Dozens of FedEx packages found on southern Illinois road. Always a good feeling, isn't it? Pope Francis unveils major revision of church penal code addressing sex abuse issues. I'm pretty sure the penal, what's the problem there? Deliveries stopped and thousands of workers sent home in Australia after hackers attack world's largest meat processor. And this is really making the news, right? Rightfully so. I mean, what kind of an effect, shows tonight's talking about supply issues. What kind of impact could this have on us? I really don't know. I know it's the world's largest. I don't know how that's truly going to impact the overall picture as far as the nation is concerned. Here locally, the meat that we buy, we get it from that little store I told you about, and they do it up themselves. So, as far as where we get it, I doubt there's going to be any effect. I could be wrong. If there's a massive shortage everywhere else, say Walmart don't have theirs and whatever, then that means people are going to be looking to other places to get theirs, which may cause shortages at the places where we get ours. So it's a very big possibility that could happen. I don't know. I don't know what exactly they hacked, what they have control over, as far as, if it's actually the equipment, if it's the financial records, if it's, there's, I've seen people talking about how the deal with the pipeline, when that was hacked, that it wasn't that the pipe, I don't know, I just saw people talking about this, that it wasn't that the pipeline wouldn't run, it was that they had no way to bill their customers. And that's why they shut it down, was because they wouldn't have any way to, they wouldn't have had any way to bill their customers. Their customers would have just been getting free, product. And so I don't know if that's true, but I know there's a buzz going around about it. So, I don't know what the deal is with this meat processing plant. I don't know if it's equipment that's affected, or if it's billing that's affected, or what. But I'll tell you what, if we find out that Americans are put in harm's way over, and I know they do it all the time, but I mean, in a completely egregious manner, I tell you what, it's interesting. Interesting times. Don't necessarily mean good. Unification of Russia and Belarus would put serious pressure on Ukraine and could create dangers for Kiev, says President Zelensky. Poland to vaccinate children as young as 12 after EU approved Pfizer's COVID-19 jab for adolescents. A black homeless man charged with hate crime after assaulting Asian woman in New York attack. And that's crazy. I watched that video, and it's the first I'd seen that particular attack. I guess he knocked her out unconscious. And I mean, it appeared to be absolutely 100% unprovoked. I would have to watch the video again. There's only one thing I know that really stood out on her. I would have to watch the video again to check everybody else that I saw in the video. But I know that one thing that really stood out on her was her mask. I'm just saying. That's one thing that, to me, visually stood out on her. So I don't know if maybe that is why he chose to attack her over anyone else, or what it was. But yeah, just crazy. And there's a lot of that going on. So keep that in mind, especially if you live in a heavily, populated area. Fortunately, we don't live in a major city or anything like that. We don't have a whole lot of that kind of stuff that would go on. So, let's see. Scotland at a delicate and fragile point amid COVID-19 Indian variant rise, says Nicola Sturgeon, as some restrictions ease. Forging a path to recovery, Russia's St. Petersburg Economic Forum to address global challenges of post-pandemic world. EU expands Justice League with prosecutor's office to crack down on fraudulent use of European funds. So they fund another organization that can misuse funds to investigate the misuse of funds. All right. Peru almost triples its COVID-19 death toll after revising counting method a week before key election. Russia will cut Ukraine off from gas after Nord Stream 2 complete, says Kiev's president, bemoaning Western support for the pipeline. Pakistan launches single-shot PackVac COVID-19 jab developed by China's CanSino. I don't know, I would trust anything that came from a business with the name CanSino. Yeah. Israeli scientists extend lives of mice by 23%, say same may be possible for humans. Guards who slept while Epstein died plan to put the whole system on trial, says a report. WHO approves Chinese Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use, saying world desperately needs more jabs. Donbass officials ask Belarus to extradite Ryanair flight detainee Prasevich over alleged role fighting for neo-Nazi battalion. Yeah, I butchered that, I know. Russia's top security chief sends stern warning, Moscow willing to use real force against foreign adversaries, not just sanctions. So there's that. Italians, clicking again, dang it. Italians furious as People Slayer mafia boss linked with 100 killings is released from prison after 25 years. Japanese Olympic athletes start getting vaccines as just 2 to 3% of general public receive both doses. EU COVID-19 certificate system goes live as 7 countries kickstart scheme to reopen summer travel. Trump expects to get reinstated as president by August, New York Times' Maggie Haberman claims, sparking storm. UK reports 0 COVID-19 deaths for the first time in pandemic, but infections still creep up amid lockdown easing. Your fake news spotting expertise makes you more likely to fall victim to fake news, a study says. Duh. Belarusian opposition activist stabs himself in the neck with a pin. Do not recommend. During court hearing, accusing officials of targeting his family. Well, you know what? The hell with it. Let's see. Going off biology, not ideology, Florida Governor DeSantis signs bill banning biological males from girls' sports. U.S. Supreme Court rejects Johnson & Johnson's appeal against $2.1 billion in damages award over claims asbestos-laced talc caused cancer. I can't spit these out for nothing. A link to porn site found in Ukrainian textbook for schools leads to criminal investigation. Now, it would be cruel and unusual punishment if they would have been in Braille. See? No, that's crazy. That is insane. We've been seeing so much when it comes to with the kids and this new form of teaching ever since COVID. All this craziness going on that the teachers are doing with their significant other or whatever the case may be. It's crazy. Let's see. U.S. Embassy in Vatican flies LGBT pride flag, offending Catholics. Kind of interested to see where that goes. Morocco says it will take back child migrants stuck in Ceuta amid row with Madrid over Spanish enclave. I'm sure I pronounced that way wrong. A Washington Post ripped for quietly adding correction to article debunking COVID-19 Wuhan lab origin theory. West Virginia to give away guns, trucks, and lots of cash as parts of its vaccination lottery program. So, right, you've heard about money, you've heard about... I got to watch a ridiculous video earlier from the schmuck in New York about them giving away French fries and hamburgers for getting the jab. And so apparently in West Virginia, you could win money, which is nice, trucks, and even guns. But they're not trying to bribe you or trick you or... Nah. Man, the more they do this, the more I say no thanks. Biden commemorates Tulsa massacre, notes terrorism from white supremacy is the greatest threat to the United States. I'm still at a loss. I'm at a loss how this is allowed, to be quite honest. I don't want to hear, oh, he's the president. Oh, yeah? If I recall correctly, we just spent 4 years with a president that couldn't say hi without being ripped a new asshole from 10 different angles. And I am pretty certain that if he was in office, this wouldn't be allowed to just run free. Because they are setting up for a civil war. That is what they are trying to do. That is what Biden is trying to do. The things that Biden, the policies that Biden and Obama, those are not ways to unify people. Those are not ways to overcome differences, racism, discrimination. Sitting there, pointing out, holding up, and in everybody's face, things that went on way long ago, and demonizing a current race of people for that. You can't tell me that's not racism. You can't tell me that's not discrimination. You can't. There was right and there was wrong. Period. It doesn't matter how hard you try to justify it. Discriminating against another group of people or even individual is on the wrong category. It's on the wrong side. It's not on the right side. You can't put it on the right side no matter how hard you try to justify it. You cannot put it on the right side. Can't. And that is the part of it that concerns me. Why? Because you and I both know this. You know that no matter how hard you try, you can't put racism, discrimination on the side of the right. Can't do it. So my question is if we get incredibly crazy things crammed down our throats in the near future, right? And don't say it wouldn't. It happened in South Africa. I was watching it happen in South Africa. You know, this has been years ago. I was watching it happen. I was like, oh my God. Are you serious? And I never dreamed that it would come here. And yeah, that's kind of what I see rolling out. I hope I'm wrong. But my point is if they keep trying to push the idea that people are something that they're not, that just simply, for instance, and I'll just say it, that simply just because you're a white person, you're a Caucasian, that you're racist, just automatically, boom, that's racist. That in itself that's textbook racism. And if you try to force people to try to accept that there's something they're not, at some point, they're going to fight back. Is that the white supremacy threat that they're talking about? This whole fake victimhood thing, this we poke until somebody reacts and then, oh, we're a victim? Is that what's going on here? I think so. So be mindful. It's ridiculous. It's sad. A Democratic Congresswoman introduces, and here we go again, introduces a bill demanding the use of female dummies for crash tests. Well, can we start with her? Just saying. I mean, asking for a friend, right? Really? I mean, I don't object. I don't care. But equality in crash test dummies now? Whatever. I mean, okay. I mean, now if there's something that needs to be, don't get me wrong, if there's something like, because I know that on average, a female on average is shorter than a male. I know weight's typically different and stuff like that. Now, if that's what they're talking about, as in putting completely correct, you know, they may do that. It may just have a male head is what I'm getting at. They may already do that. They may, you know, they may have the proper weights, the heights, and all that stuff. And I'm sure they probably do. But they just may have all male heads, right? I know damn well that they test for the different weights and heights and stuff. I know for a fact that they do that already. So this would just be purely an aesthetic thing. So I'm just saying, I'm 99.999% positive that this is all over aesthetics. Has nothing to do with you know, anatomy or, again, differences in weights, heights, stuff like that. Because they already do all that. Trust me. That you can look at the when they do their testing and stuff. They've got charts on it. So. Los Angeles firefighter kills colleague and wounds another before burning his own home and committing suicide. So, yeah, that was kind of craziness that went on earlier. Lucky strike, space debris punches hole in robotic arm on International Space Station. I believe that was this morning that happened. Let's see. What are we doing in society? A suspect in New York sucker punch attack on Asian woman has been arrested 8 times in the past year. That one cat that I was telling you about earlier. And I show a number 2 up there. Guns, trucks, and scholarships. West Virginia announces prizes. Okay. I guess scholarships, add that one to the list too. Scholarships for West Virginia. So guns, trucks, scholarships, and there was something else the other article said. I can't remember now. So, yeah. Might even be a reason to move to Virginia, right? Just hurry up and move there and get your jab so you can get in line for that lotto. Editor of leading medical journal to step down. You know what's crazy? If somebody could give, try to be helpful and give a little bit of advice or something like on a YouTube video or something on helping somebody, I don't know, deal with some minor issue, right? And let's say something, or that it was reported, right? And something really came of it. That person could be in a lot of problems, a lot of trouble, have a lot of problems for making medical claims, right? Trust me, I watched all this unfold with the vaping industry and stuff like that and how they had to dance around and all of that. And you would think that individual, like if this would come back, if something would turn up happening really, really bad as a result of these vaccines, are different entities going to be on the hook for the encouragement? You know what I mean? Like Krispy Kreme, for example. I'm just saying, for giving out donuts, as an example, right? Could they at some point become liable? I mean, just a thought. I don't know. You would think it's a possibility, especially in today's Sue Happy world. Let's see. And lastly, editor of leading medical journal to step down after failing to survive backlash over tweet daring to question racism narrative. So, there you go. There's that too. Anyway, I'm going to hop out of here and just kind of chillax the rest of the night. So, I got to get trash out yet too. So, fun times. Anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back again tomorrow. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.